In this video, I take on my first ever competition as well as start training after a long winter break. If you don't know who I am already, I'm Nate. I've been climbing for about 3 years on and off, but this last year I've been trying to take it more seriously, and this channel is a vlog of me training weekly and trying to get better. So straight into the training plan, I did my warm-up and then I immediately got on to the hangboard and started doing some max hangs. Around when I left school, I was able to do about 40 pounds, but this was a little bit weaker, unfortunately, but that always happens after you take a break. I didn't really do max hangs when over break, so I'm not really too upset about this. Afterwards, I did a little bit of core in some hanging leg raises, and then I wanted to move on to the tension board to start doing some projecting. This first climb was a V7, which I think can be my first V7 on the tension board, but I wasn't able to get the first move when I first tried it. Although I only made one move today in progress, I was able to start workshopping more and more, and it totally feels a lot better and it feels way more doable now. And then moved on to this V5. I tried a little bit. This big move is to a small crimp. It's something I'm not really that good at, so I had trouble doing it before. This felt way better today than it did before, but the tiredness, as well as my lingering weakness, meant that this wasn't a great attempt. I do feel like this isn't too bad and will go down soon. After that admittedly a little depressing anti-style session, I ended up going to the wall and doing some sloth monkey repeats. If you guys don't know what that is, that's basically a drill where you do a slow version of the climb and then do it more fast and dynamic, and then you pick the perfect beta in the middle to finish the climb off on. I did a bunch of other boulders, but for the sake of time, I'm not going to show them all, but I did want to talk about this V4. One thing that's really important to think about when climbing is the mental aspect of it. I've had a pretty weak session already from the hanging board to the tension board, and already some of my other sloth monkey climbs have felt not so great. On this V4, I flashed it at my first go, and on my second go I also flashed it, but my beta kept getting really jumbled up. On this last attempt, I ended up falling, and even though it's well within my flash grade, it's important to remember that you can fall, you will fall, and not to take it too personally. I was still pretty in my head this whole session, but it's good for me to remind myself, and for you guys to think about it too. Moving on to the next day of training, I wanted to do some one-arm pull-up work, so I started with some lock-offs and one-arm pull-up attempts. Not as good as I wished, but that's okay, that happens. The goal of this session was to do more anti-style projecting, but specifically on boulders set in the gym. After completing my warm-up boulders, I decided to go to the slab section of the wall, which is generally my least favorite section, but I found this interesting V7 with a dynamic first move, which I thought was good because it was coordination and slab, all the things that I'm not so great at. After trying the first move, it felt super possible, and I dialed in on focusing my feet and getting enough power. I immediately stuck the move after thinking about that, and then got stuck on this slabby section with this weird sketchy foot swap. I then moved on to this other V7 slab, which is much more in the slabby style that I'm not so good at. This first move is pretty easy, but then you get stuck into this Gaston, which is quite difficult for me to get up. The goal of the climb is for you to get the Gaston and press up, but I got stuck on that move over and over and over again. I wasn't able to send it this session, but I will work on it and hopefully it'll go down. The next part of the climb, I went up to and tried because I was curious, and it was much sketchier slab. I always get scared of the slab when it's that high up, but I was able to get most of the moves, so I'm interested in that climb and probably will come back to it if it doesn't get reset over. I then did a set of perfect repeats. And what these essentially mean is trying to climb a climb as perfectly as possible, dialing in the beta 4 times, giving full rest to make sure that every attempt is as good as possible, even if it's a climb that you can flash. I didn't put all of them in this video again for the sake of time, but this is one example of what it looked like. And my beta gets better and better every time, making my climbs better, and hopefully my general beta and route reading better as well. Unfortunately, that was it for the training this week. I tried to go on Saturday, but the gym closed and I didn't realize when it closed. Then on Sunday, the comp and the other gym got snowed out due to a snowstorm. However, this does mean that I got extra rest for the comp and I was extra ready to go when the time came. Now for the moment you've all been waiting for, on to the comp. This is my first ever competition, but I've watched plenty of competitions, so I kind of know the general format and how people climb in them. We had 8 problems spread over 2.5 hours, and we could bounce around wherever we wanted. The format was zones and tops with the limited attempts within the allotted time. I was placed in the intermediate men's category, which is where I figured I'd be, but although this didn't mean I wouldn't get to climb in any official final. Straight into this first climb, which you guys have been watching. I didn't get much warm up, so I wanted to start pretty light. I scoped out all the gym for the boulders in my section and decided to start here since it wasn't too busy. I was scary to look at the slab at first, especially since it's my anti-style, but once I hopped on, I realized the feet were good and the main focus was this large crimp rail in the middle. I'm super happy to get this flash and start off right, and all my slab practice this week has paid off. Next off was this blue boulder, once again in the slab style. This one was a little more dynamic, but still felt pretty easy. Both the hands and feet were also pretty good, so I was pretty confident. On this dynamic move to the zone, I forgot that there was a higher left foot that would have taken the risk out of the move, but I hit it and nonetheless got the flash. Next was this black climb right next to the blue one. I was a little more worried about this one as I had seen some of the stronger climbers at the gym struggle on this first move, and it was also part of the advanced circuit as there's some overlap between both sets. Thankfully, I was able to see the beta, so I kind of didn't have to fiddle around trying to find the moves that would work for me best. I pretty quickly stuck this first move and felt pretty good about it, but I missed it at the very end. Afterwards, I fell on that move a few more times and took this scary fall, which worried me a little bit that I wouldn't get this climb, but I was able to finish it out and got this nice little double catch to complete the climb. I wasn't super scared of this next pink one because it looked like all jugs, even though it was a little bit long. It took a couple tries to get my foot on this toe catch, but they don't count as attempts, so I wasn't upset to spam it. Once I got the toe, the rest was chill, but the movement was still pretty cool, no complaints, especially that rose move. Someone unfortunately blocked the end, which is unfortunate, but that's to be expected, so you can't complain, can't get upset at people for blocking your camera. The next climb was this orange dynamic paddle I had seen at the start when I was scoping the gym. I figured the move would be hard since it looked really far, but after my first attempt I realized it really wasn't too bad. I put focus into looking towards the last hold on my next attempt since I could almost make the jump without the intermediate. I saw even tall people static it, which was crazy to me. I hit this dyno in my second go, and I was psyched about it, and the rest was super easy. This blue climb was pretty crimpy, and I saw some people fall on it, so I was worried it may be a tough one for me. I fell on the start immediately, it felt like I was in for a ride. This big sloper in the middle I knew was bad, as I had seen it in the gym before, but the good feet made this move possible. At the very end were this really bad pocket and crimp, which were super hard to hold since I had lost all my chalk. I made a little hop for the last hold and saved it, and I was super psyched to get this one quick. Now I move on to the demons of the round. This one was a green paddle, which I was honestly not so scared about, but once I tried it, I started to get worried. The move is around a corner, which is kind of hard to see on video, but trust me, it feels super far. I fell over and over on it, trying to first focus on pulling on the big sloper, and then moving to focus on grabbing the end jug. This part of the gym was super packed, and since the climb took up a large part of the wall, attempts were sparse. I decided to move for now and come back to it later. This red, I believe, is the hardest climb in the comp. The first move is a pretty chill dyno, which took me a little longer to hit than I was happy about, but the rest is super tight and pressy on slope holes, which made it super hard. Another hard part of this climb is that I would continuously run out of chalk. It may have been nice to bring up a bag with me, but I didn't have it on me and didn't think of it in the moment. Sadly, I didn't get it, and I didn't see anyone else get it. It's definitely the hardest boulder, and I heard some setters talking about it being the hardest and that they didn't think anyone would get it. So I was happy getting the zone and getting in some good goes. I definitely want to work on it since the rest feels doable. I feel like if I had more time, I would have been able to do it, but unfortunately no time in this round. Hopefully it doesn't come back to bite me in the placements. Since the red one felt out of reach for the round, I decided to go back to the green one and try and get it because it felt necessary to do well in this comp. As you can see, I gave it a lot of attempts, but I started to get nervous as time started to wind down. Luckily, with about 5 minutes left, I was able to get the send. But unfortunately, someone knocked over the camera and I don't have video of it. So enjoy my recreation along with the audio in the back as proof that I did get it. Overall, I'm super happy to have competed in this comp and super psyched to have gotten 7 tops and 8 zones. Thank you to all the setters for putting on a great show and making all the climbs super fun to do. Due to the previously mentioned snowstorm, our comp was moved to be spread out over the whole week, and this means my results won't be in until the next video, so I will let you guys know how I did in that. Also, I just want to thank all of you guys so much for support on the last video. I did not expect it to do that well. I thought it was kind of just going to be only my friends, so I'm really happy that some of you guys were able to enjoy the video. And if there's anything you want to see, as always, let me know. Like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. I will see you next week, and remember to try hard. It's worth it.